dark web, which is supposed to be anonymous. It is not on Google. And Sixgill went ahead and addressed the issue of the dark web. Let's see.
To track criminality on the dark web, Sixgill has developed state-of-the-art cybersecurity technology. It explores hidden sites to spot criminals before they can carry out their plans. Real investigations on the toxic side of the net. Sixgill, a light in the web's darkest areas.
Pour expliquer pourquoi Sixgill est vraiment the next big thing in computer security.
So as to understand why Sixgill is the next big thing in computer security, let me welcome Henri, a professor at the Paris Dauphine University, on the stage. Henri, just in 1 minute, can you tell us why Sixgill is going to have such an impact? Well, you know, in universities, we have to prepare the citizens of the future, and we thought that this innovation pulled together a lot of very interesting features. First of all, it was a B2B application, because otherwise we generally focus on B2C applications. So that was the first advantage. Secondly, the dark web is also part and parcel of the digital transformation with positive and negative sides. So it was interesting to have a look at what was going on and not be naive about it. And thirdly, the issue of cybersecurity was something that was very, very important, and this innovation focused on cybersecurity, which was important for us.
Co-founder and CEO of Sixgill, and our own Netexplo expert, David Dudu Mimran, who's the CTO of Deutsche Telekom Innovation Labs in Israel. Welcome, guys. Avi, Dudu, have a seat. So the video didn't give much away. What is it exactly that you do?
Okay, thank you. We have developed a system that automatically monitors and analyzes dark web activity. So we are able to see many of the threats before they happen. We are able to produce as a customer with what is called real-time alerts, real-time prioritized alerts. We are able to understand basically what's going on, what the people are planning doing, in order to be able to produce what is called actionable intelligence, or what you do about that, and it enables you to stop the threat from causing this damage.
We're going to get into specifics, but maybe lots of people maybe in this room have no idea what the dark web is. What is it? How big is it? How many people do you think use it, and what do they use it for?
Okay, I will try to answer in that order. There are two concepts, basically. One concept is what is called the hidden web, that is basically everything that is not indexed by regular search engines, like Google, for example. And then you have another term that is called dark web, that is a subgroup of the deep web, that it basically enables people to communicate in an anonymous and encrypted way. All what is called the hidden web is about 96% of the internet. And it's growing.
What we used to call the deep web, just the unindexed part.
Yes, yes,
okay.
Yes, you're right. In the dark web, it's used in order to do, regarding to your question, what we can find there. Well, first you can find very good things that some people sometimes forget that. And then you can find very bad things as well, okay? What you can find everything from serial killers to drug dealers, etc., etc. The imagination is the limit.
But I imagine that if people go there to do these kinds of transactions or exchange that kind of data, it's because they have, I mean, they assume that there's a higher level of privacy, that they're going to be anonymous and untraceable.
And that's true. Yes, and that's true. That's the reason they go. I think they go for another reason as well. Not only it is anonymous, but it's encrypted. So just imagine, I think, from the even sociological point of view, what will happen to us as a society if we all know, I mean, we live in a society where there are certain rules. Now, what happens when these rules do not exist anymore? So you can just say what you want, you can do what you want, nobody will know. And this is what's going on there. I think what we see many of the time, it's a lot of creativity there. Now the question is why? How do you get so much creativity? And I think that there is something that is called collective intelligence. You connect several people in the same place. So the result is much more than everyone separately. And that's something we see quite often.
So when it comes to cybersecurity, how is the dark web, a paradigm shift? What does it change?
Well, we started, several years ago. I don't want to feel old, okay, I'm very young. But quite a few years ago, we started doing what is called this type of walls, firewalls, stuff like that. So the idea was that if we manage to put this kind of protection, then we are safe, okay? The reality was much different. We were not safe, and we were being attacked more and more and more. So this is the kind of paradigm shift. Now the question is why, how, and how do we stop that? And I think here you can do, we live in Israel, and for good or bad, okay, but you have quite experience in the intelligence field. And
for some reason, every security company I know is Israeli. I don't know why.
Okay, I don't know if it's good or bad, but okay. There are two different things, okay? One thing is to know about the data, okay? All the things, all the information you're receiving. The another thing is to create intelligence based on that. And it's really one of the challenges.
You said that you offer your clients focused intelligence production. Give us a real-world example of a type of company that would approach you and what kind of information they want you to find or monitor.
Okay, I will try just to speak generally without going too much into details.
You don't have to name names.
It comes, we work basically with two types of organizations. One is the civilians, one our customers are banks, telecoms, etc., insurance companies. And then we have another branch that deals with the government, intelligence agencies, law enforcement. And based on that, I mean, for different type of customer, different verticals, there are several needs, okay, that basically is the crime. I mean, really it's very sad, but we all have been witness of the terrorist widespreading. Now, one of the things, for example, they use quite intensive is all the dark web. So it's hard to say something specific. I also don't want to enter into
Let's imagine I'm a bank. A big, old, boring bank. I come to you. Why do I come to you?
Well, banks is very easy because they are constantly attacked all the time, okay? You can find there from stealing money from ATMs to threatening people inside the organization to the most creative ways of stealing money, okay? We have several cases. A bank is very, very easy. I'm not even speaking about stolen credit cards, on stolen identities. Sometimes people forgot what they can do with when a stolen identity is very frightening, in fact.
How do you work? Are you like a private investigator? I mean, I call on you and I say, I need to find that information, or is that online, or is that information being exchanged online? Or do you monitor for certain kinds of information, throughout the day, throughout the night, and throughout the year?
Okay, first of all, we monitor this all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's done automatically. Now, we focus several verticals. So, for example, when you come to us, if you are a customer, then we just fine-tune the system towards your needs. One of the things that is important important to understand, that one of the things that we do in Sixgill is we learn the modus operandi of the people. Why? Because I can say my name is Avi, and tomorrow I can say my name is something else. But the system must know automatically that Avi and this something else is the same guy. And he lives in the dark web, but he also lives in the deep web, has regular family, friends, etc. Okay? So how do you recognize all the time, all the things?
That's fascinating. I saw in the video that you can actually map out their social connections in the dark web and what it is that they do and what they exchange with whom. How do you do that on a totally encrypted network?
Well, I will not go into the details into how we do that, but I can say that we managed to find the places, okay, where those things are happening. We managed, for example, to understand the people. We know the people that deal with that, okay? We see constantly everything that's going on. And we managed to make the connection. So there is a lot, I will tell you what. There is something, we have artificial intelligence, and this artificial intelligence, they learn human behavior, okay? And it's really very hard, even us as human beings, okay? If you think, for example, how we make decisions in our personal life, okay? And you may think, okay, we're all very rational people, right? Well, we are not. And these guys are not different, okay? But you need to know. And there are a lot of studies about that. So we apply some methodologies that basically we use because we work with intelligence agencies in Israel. So we apply these methodologies into the technology, and this provides a combination that gives us many answers.
You say that your difference is the use of automation. You don't just put a security analyst in front of a machine and tell him, find this out, but you work this into the system and so it can run on itself around the clock?
Yeah, yes, that's right. We managed to create a system that does almost totally automation about the system. And that's very important when you manage to connect the dots, okay, because some time ago it was done manually. So when it's manual, it's like man versus machine. It doesn't matter how many people you put, you need to connect the dots. But in order to connect the dots, you need to process big data, a lot of information.
What's the business model? Is it a service? Is it something I can take in a box and plug into my company and you will never hear about it again? How does it work?
Well, we manage basically two types of business model. Okay, one is, and it depends on the customer. For us, it's the same what the customer wants. One business model is SaaS, software as a service, and the other business model is on-premise, where all the information is at the customer premises.
Dudu, what do you think?
I think it's a cool company, first. I can say several things. I think dealing with the dark web requires deep expertise. It's not something that pure engineering or someone that is not coming from the field can tackle that. So I think this is a unique asset in that sense. And I'm a great believer in the combination of artificial intelligence into the world of cybersecurity, because eventually today we are witnessing a big wave of cyber threats, and the manual mechanisms to tackle these cyber threats doesn't work anymore. So the ability to automate with artificial intelligence is the right direction into the future. And I believe we will see more and more companies with that, and this company is an anchor in that future.
Do you think that the dark web as a thing is here to stay?
I believe so, and I believe it will take even more forms, because one of the things that we are seeing now is IoT. And IoT is actually an increase in magnitude in the number of devices. And what the dark web up until now is basically normal servers holding data. But just imagine 10 times more, 100 times more devices, there is much more space for the dark. And it will become much more complicated because the devices will not be accessible in the same manner. So it's a bad thing that we have that, but it's definitely durable for the future.
Now you're going to give a talk right after this about the intersection of AI, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity, so we'll try not to give too much away, but would you agree that the big difference here is automation?
I think the big difference is automation, but behind the automation there is actually a subtle thing, which is reasoning. The ability, when you harvest or when you are work with huge amounts of data, you need to have some kind of capability to have intelligence, to deduce what is right and what is interesting and what is not, and where to go deeper into the dark web. And I think that is the critical ingredient. Again, with combination with the domain expertise, that is the killer application.
Do you feel that this kind of technology, as many others, will end up being decentralized? I mean, we now have, you used to have like encrypted servers to exchange messages on. We all have encrypted clients now on our smartphones. Is it something that you can imagine putting in an end device?
If something, can you repeat? I'm sorry.
Do you think that this technology will become democratized? I won't have to go to you, but I can have that kind of technology on my phone, for example. Either to protect myself or to search for information.
I think it depends. Okay, and I think it depends because the key issue is, as I said before, to produce intelligence out of that. Okay, just suppose that if you're not able to produce intelligence, so you will be investing the same resources, okay, all over the place. So you need to find where you are going to put your horses, and that's critical. So it depends.
As to the importance of security, do you think that the mindset of users has changed? Do you think that their awareness of security issues has changed in any way, or do we just have to make it easier and transparent and not count on the user to become secure himself?
First, you are touching I think the weakest link, which is the users. Most of the attacks are coming from human errors.
As most technicians will tell you, the problem lies between the chair and the keyboard. Yeah.
Yes. But I'm not a great believer in making users cybersecurity experts, because eventually people are different, people are working in their own field. So I do see some ramp up in the knowledge, but I don't see them becoming experts. Eventually the medium or the technology should be able to solve that, and that is not easy. We are not there yet.
All right, thank you so much. Let's get an award. Let's have Henri give you an award. Hello, I want to see a statue. No, Henri, come back. Why wait? There you go. Actually, it hasn't been said yet, but these statues have a story. They're made, I think, in Cameroon. Based on a sculpture that is made especially for Netexplo by Hervé Di Rosa. Doudou, stand up. Let's take a picture together. And congratulations.